So what's the one huge barrier that kept truly smart AI stuck in the lab for decades? Well, it all comes down to this one fundamental, almost paradoxical challenge, the cold start problem.
Yeah, think about it for a second. How is an AI supposed to learn something brand new when it's starting from a totally blank slate? No experience, no data, nothing. How does it even take that first step, from 0 to 1?
For the longest time, an AI starting fresh was just useless. It was like hitting a brick wall before it could even get started. And that fundamental barrier, that seemingly impossible task, is what we call the cold start problem.
All right, so let's put a real definition on this. The cold start problem is basically this. It's the challenge where a brand new AI agent, without any prior data or training for a specific task, it's effectively useless. It can't act, it can't reason. On day one, it's a paperweight.
So, the old way of solving this, it was a nightmare. We're talking about manually coding thousands of rules and spoon-feeding the AI mountains of perfectly labeled data for every single task. It was slow, crazy expensive, and the AI you got at the end was fragile. It was a one-trick pony. But this new way with a bootstrapped agent, it's a whole different ballgame. It starts with common sense, it makes up its own rules, and it learns on the fly. So what's the breakthrough that makes this all possible? It's a concept called zero-shot learning, and honestly, it feels a little bit like magic. It's the ability for an AI to do something it has never been trained on, just by understanding a simple instruction in plain English. No examples, no giant data sets, just a command.
Okay, so how on earth does an AI go from just a sentence to actually doing something complex? Well, the secret sauce here is a technique that's surprisingly simple but unbelievably powerful. It's called chain of thought prompting.
And this isn't some crazy, complicated new algorithm. It's almost like a life hack for AI. Researchers found that if you just add the simple phrase, "let's think step by step," to your prompt, it forces the model to slow down and break down the problem. It actually writes out its reasoning first before spitting out the final answer. And this little trick of getting it to think out loud just dramatically improves its accuracy.
And when I say dramatically improves, I mean it. The results are just staggering. Look at this. On a math benchmark, a standard prompt gets it right about 18% of the time. Not great, but add that one little phrase, "let's think step by step," and the accuracy jumps all the way to almost 79%. That's not just a little better. That is a total game changer. A complete transformation, all from 5 simple words.
All right, so we've got this awesome reasoning technique, but how do you actually build an agent that can use it to learn and do stuff in the real world? Well, you can think of it like building a person. You combine 2 key parts, a powerful large language model as the brain, and then a cognitive architecture that acts as the body to carry out the tasks.
And this agent is constantly learning. It's in this perpetual loop. First, it tries to do something with the rules it already has. If it hits a wall and doesn't know what to do next, it pings its LLM brain for help. The brain thinks it through step by step and gives some advice. Then, and this is the cool part, the agent turns that advice into a brand new rule for itself. It just keeps doing this over and over, literally writing its own code and getting smarter every single time.
Let's make this real. Check out this test environment. We've got an agent in a virtual kitchen. Its goal? Slice an object. Simple, right? But think about all the steps. Find the knife, pick it up, find the apple, put them together, then slice. The agent has never, ever done this before. It's starting from absolute zero.
And this is where everything changes. This is the huge paradigm shift. As the agent learns, the human job of coding every little step just vanishes. The agent uses its own self-reflection and the LLM's common sense to figure it out. It's a massive deal. We're moving away from needing tons of data to just needing a good instruction. And I want to be clear. This isn't just some cool experiment in a lab. This learning from zero capability is already out in the wild. It's being used right now to solve really tough problems in some very complex industries.
Okay, case study number 1, the legal world. A massive law firm, Allen & Overy, rolled out an AI assistant called Harvey. It's built on OpenAI's tech and helps lawyers with the heavy lifting, drafting contracts, researching cases. And the key here? It works right out of the box. The lawyers just talk to it like a colleague, using normal language.
And did they use it? Oh yeah. In just the trial period, 3,500 lawyers threw about 40,000 questions at Harvey. 40,000. That just goes to show how incredibly valuable a tool like this is when you don't need a PhD to use it, especially in a field like law.
All right, next up, regulatory science.
So the US FDA had a problem. They wanted to use AI to comb through super-sensitive internal documents, but they couldn't just upload that stuff to some external server, obviously. And to make it harder, they had no labeled examples for the very specific, very technical info they needed to find.
So what happened? They took an open source model, ran it on their own secure servers, and gave it one simple, clear instruction, just a single zero-shot prompt. And the result? It was 78.5% accurate. That's incredible. It proves this whole approach works even for these super niche, specialized jobs where building a data set from scratch would be a total non-starter.
So let's zoom out. The big picture here is that the cold start problem, this massive wall that held AI back for so long, is finally crumbling. We are walking into a brand new era, an era where AI isn't some slow, custom-built thing, but a general-purpose tool you can deploy almost immediately.
And the implications of this are just huge. I mean, think about it. Manufacturing lines that can retool themselves for a new product just by reading the blueprint. AI scientists that can dream up hypotheses and then design the experiments to test them. We're talking about personal assistants that actually get you, and robots that can walk into a new place and just figure stuff out the way a person would.
Look, to put it as simply as I can, this is a fundamental change in how we interact with technology. We are leaving the era of painstakingly teaching an AI everything and entering an era of simply telling it what to do and letting it intuitively figure out how to solve new problems all by itself.
And that really leaves us with one last mind-bending question. If starting from scratch isn't a problem anymore, if an AI can learn a brand new skill just because we told it to, what are the impossible problems that we're finally going to solve next?